she got hit with a ball and she just went, brah.
I've been out of action since 2014, guys. Come on. But the wahine, it's actually a lot easier for them when they come in. They just connect straight away and get to work.
If you don't want to come, you don't come. If you do, then come on. Come on our boat. That's us.
Morena e te iwi, morena e te iwi. Nau mai hoki mai. Kei konei he manuhiri anō i te tahi a Maua Korea. Tēnā kōrero mai ko ai koe, nohea koe, and also tell us something great about you.
Well, kia ora. My name is Tairongo Hudson. He uri au no Te Whakatōhea. Ko tōku tūranga waiwai kei Waiotahe, i te taha o te marae. Ko tōku whenua i reira, ko Pūhanga Hau.
Pūhanga hau.
Tēnā koe.
Kia ora, kōmari māma pohe pituku ingoa. Eri tēnei no te whānau apanui, maraanui.
Tell us something great about you, my boy. One thing that's great about you.
Rugby.
Yeah.
You're a good singer.
Yeah.
Nei,
What was your great thing?
Mans doesn't like to talk about himself.
Great coach. Is he a great coach?
Yep. Yeah, he's a mean coach.
Yeah.
Cool.
Love that.
What do we have?
No, nothing. E te whānau. We have a goal.
And our goal is to reach 1,000. Well, reach 1,000. to reach 1,000.
E te whānau, we have a goal. Our goal is
To reach at least 1,000 subscribers by Matariki. Matariki te timatanga ho. So all you need to do is click this button below. Ki kona.
and you will be in the draw to win e hana merch.
Yes. We will all be in the draw to win e ahana merch.
Just one person.
Just one. Nō reira. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So our kaupapa today is all on you. All on you. Korua tahi. I te mea koia tētahi wa ākona. And you've done a lot of great things in Whakatōhea over the last couple of years that I've known. It could have been longer. Heoi, we just want to know, what is it that you do? What is it that you do that awhi's our iwi?
Okay, so basically I run a boxing and kickboxing club here in town. And it's been running for the last 5 years, since 2020 we started up. But we've only just moved into town about 2022-ish. So we pretty much allow anybody to come in, anybody who has an interest for the sport or who just wants to do something different. We allow them to come in and mingle with our students that we already have. We produce, what we do is we produce fighters. We train fighters or combat athletes, as we like to say. And a lot of people that have come through our doors have grown immensely. And when I say that, I mean from people who used to, let's say, have a blanket over their head and sort of shy, and now open and just winning in their lives. You know, we've got people as old as 45 who have competed in the ring twice, and they've just shown that doesn't matter how old you are, you can do anything you set your mind to. You know? And the younger ones as well, the youth. We just had my first youth compete, was it 2 weeks ago now? And that was different for me to have children fighting under my wing. Because you wouldn't condone that sort of thing, having children fighting. But from this, they've grown so much. These 3 girls that I had fighting in the ring, they've grown so much in the sense that now they're not little girls anymore. They're almost young ladies, you know. And they've really come out of their shells, and now everything else that they're doing, they're sort of going after it a lot more now, because they have more of a hunger now, more of a desire to do things, and they understand the discipline it takes to get to where your goal is. That's a little bit about what we do.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Mama, I've seen you, I didn't even know you were in there. So when I come down last night, it was lovely. The beautiful thing that was lovely to see was te nuina he tāne. He tāne. And that's a big thing for men, to be in that space, to be able to release. So my boy, I just want to have a kōrero with you around what does that do for you?
Just gets me out of my comfort zone.
How?
So I love fighting. It's always been with me since I was a little kid. And yeah.
How does it help you? A tinana, wairua, hinengaro.
Just take everything off my mind and focus on the one thing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Arawe.
Ka pai. So if you were struggling, would you say that would be a good release for you?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
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 Or you just take a break. If you're not willing to go to training, then don't go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
No, that's good.
Fine.
That's good. With you, Tairongo, you have, like I said, there's a lot of tāne there. And that is lovely to see, because a lot of tāne don't get to release much. And trying to help in a hauora space, wahine mā, tāne mā, it must benefit a lot for them.
Yep.
You become a counsellor, not only a trainer, you probably become a counsellor too.
Yep.
Yeah?
And in some senses, I do feel like that sometimes, because I have a lot of them message me even after trainings, things that they're going through in their lives, and I'm able to help there because of I've had experiences too, you know, and going through those experiences, I'm able to help them in other parts. But it's just that connection during training, with me being their coach, they're able to feel comfortable with me, so they're able to open up in other aspects of their life as well. But gee, especially for the tāne, because we're always told to be strong, kia kaha ni, and hold it in, don't show anyone your fella's weakness. But when you go to training, you got, if I'm telling you to do something, you got to have the willingness to do it. And then once you've done it, you're going to be so tired, you're going to show nothing but your weakness. And that's where we grow from there. We grow when we're at our weakest point. And then that's when we start building. Okay, once you're weak, you're tired, now you got to do something else. Now I'm going to see who you really are. And then that's how we build who these people really are. Because we all want to be something inside, but it's just about trying to harness it and trying to pull it out of people.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do people the likes of me and Leah come into that space? Because I also saw just one wahine in there amongst all those men. For me personally, there wouldn't be a comfortable space for me, but, you know, tino kahaia ki te whakatutiki tana mahi.
Right.
I wanganui a koutou nā tāne. And she had no cares at all. She just did the work. So to make it comfortable for Ria, how would that look?
It would, honestly, it's quite difficult to get women in there, especially when there's 25 men in there hitting the pads and they all, you know, our men are big and sweaty and going hard out. So it can be quite intimidating. But honestly, all I can say is if you want to go into this sort of space, you have to step out of that comfort zone. It's really about yourself at that point. If you're really willing to do something like this, then just go into it, because you'll be surprised at how comfortable you will be in that environment. And women especially, because women are able to actually let the emotions out. And that actually helps with their healing a lot better than the tāne. So the tāne have to be strong and
Don't show emotion.
Don't show emotion. So we have that aspect when walking into a space like that where we have to be alpha male sort of buzz. But the wahine, it's actually a lot easier for them when they come in. They just connect straight away and get to work. But like if you feel like you have an urge or you have a desire to want to do something like that to enhance your hauora or anything you want to fight in the ring maybe, but you feel a bit shy, just hide in my. The team was very welcoming. I mean, we have a women's class as well, but that's only on a Tuesday. And that's during the day. That's more for the mamas and that who's not at work. So we do have that space for them opened up.
That's beautiful. So we talk about all these beautiful things. How do you find oranga? You know, we spoke about you with people, you know, counselling or, you know, giving kōrero to them. How do you find your own oranga within your mahi? How do you release?
To be honest, I think it has a lot to do with my partner. She's honestly the backbone of all of this. If I wasn't with her, this whole club would have just went to shambles, because I need her to rely on, to fall back on, because I do get a lot of, I wouldn't say issues, but I'd say mahi on my shoulders with a lot of people coming in and, you know, I've got to give them physical workouts, but then afterwards it's a little bit the hawairua with some of them. But then I've always got to have someone to go back on, and I actually ask her for a lot of advice too. She's the one I go to for my advice of, is this the pathway I take? Should I be doing this? And she'll give me a straight up answer, yes, no, slap, whatever I need. But yeah, it's to do with her and my tamariki neko. That's where I get all my my healing from.
Beautiful.
What a great partner.
Perfect.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
She's perfect. She sounds like you.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's it. We need more women to back our men like that. Though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey. So e mihi ana ki aia.
Yeah.
Me ona mahi katoa. My boy, how do we get more rangatahi to join WOW? How do you feel when you spoke about how you felt about going to all your classes, fighting classes, but how would you tell our rangatahi to come and join and do what you're doing?
Oh, I'll just drag them along. If they say no, I'll still drag them.
You would see some of your hoa that are feeling taumaha as well, eh?
Yeah.
So you probably have these conversations with them as well?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a great role model, especially in this mahi. Because Auntie Taka says to me, kei te haere mau ki te kōrero tahi kia tātou. And I was excited because coming from a rangatahi perspective as well.
Yeah.
And he rereke ngā nekehanga o ia rangatahi i nei rā. So e mihi ana ki a koe, e whakapau kaha ana i roto i nei mahi. And we see you. We see you, boy.
We see you and we love the mahi that you're doing. Especially with o hoa katoa ki roto i te kāreti. And we need you to be the safe space as well.
Yeah.
Just like how Matua Tairongo has his safe space for you fellas.
Yeah.
And creating that safe vibe just to be okay. To be okay. Release and into it. Into a brand new day. Hey, wake up and it's a brand new day. And I love that you're going in that pathway, my boy. Also, I had a look at one of your posts, Tairongo. You must have had a bit of a tuki with tētahi atu, because you had a kōrero about that your space has nothing to do with ngā kēngi. So, kōrero about that.
So, before that post happened, it was more about we were sending flyers out looking for sponsorships and stuff. And it just so happened when one of our students was sending out flyers, she overheard someone when she had given the flyer, I won't name where or who the person is, but they said, oh, this is just a gang thing, they're trying to make money for gangs. So when I heard that, we're not a gang. That's all I have to say. We're not a gang, but we do have gang members in our club. And kei te pai tērā, he whānau noi hō rātou. And look at our community, we can't just push away gang members just because of the colour they wear or what they wear. We're all the same. But we're not a gang. I was pukuriri when I put up that post. That's why I put it up and he tangata pērā au. When I'm pukuriri, I just go. Kore kau te whakaaro e tahi wā, engari. I think it needed to be said because sometimes we can portray that, people look at us, and I've heard it from some people, look at us like, oh, you're just teaching our kids to bash people up, or you're teaching these gang members to fight. They already know how to fight. We're trying to teach them an art or a discipline.
Yeah.
Or give them a sport or a channel, a way they can channel it. Nira.
Absolutely. Because we don't have much, eh?
No.
We don't have much for our rangatahi, and that's a start. That's a start for something for after school. And we do need more. We do need more. So, you know, e mihi ana ki a koe, because you've got a huarahi for our rangatahi to be able to access, release, and have something for after kura.
Yeah.
Eh, my boy?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, so in saying that, who's your biggest inspiration when it comes to this mahi?
Te atua.
Yeah.
Whau.
Tōku mahi nāi nei kia whai atu i ngā tohu o te atua. Nei. I try not to look up to people and idolise them too much. I try now anyway. I nāi nei. I try to just follow ngā tohu o te atua. Nei.
Beautiful.
Wow. So
Lovely.
tell us your story. What was your why to be here, to be in this space, to be where you are now?
So when I first started the club, it wasn't me really wanting to start. It was my shishan or my master at the time. He told me a few years before I finished training, you'd be a better trainer than you are a fighter. And then that thought just stuck with me. And then once you, I know like let's say you fellas did kapahaka and then you finished for a lot of years, you'd still have that urge, ne? So I always had that urge to want to carry on. And it just got to the point where it was unbearable, and I was like, I just got to start something. It's got to start up. So I did it. And then, there wasn't really, like I did it. It was just an urge and the fact that my sensei had told me you'd better be a better trainer than you are a fighter. So that was my next gateway into the sport, I guess. Was through his kōrero and the ahika, ne, i roto.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
So you've got a story before you started fighting, eh?
Yeah.
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 Good story or bad?
Well, from the upbringing or?
Yeah.
Okay. So from the upbringing, we had a good upbringing. I lived close to our nene and koro on Pūhanga Hau, but we also had, from my father's side, we had a lot of trauma, ne? A lot of generational curses. As a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And te rā te taha kenge, wera momo mea, alcoholism, all of that stuff. And it just sort of carried on, into the teens and then the early 20s as well. That's where it really took off for me, going on a sort of bad huarahi, doing all the wrong things. And then, it wasn't until I met my partner where she sort of brought me back into reality and say, hey, you need to sort it out.
Yes, great partners.
But gee, I've been through some stuff, a lot of thoughts that I wish upon no one, like harmful thoughts, you know. Been through a lot of that stuff, and so I'm glad that I've been through that stuff. I'm able now to help other people who are going through it, through the mahi. Ne?
That is
Absolutely. A koe, my boy, who's your biggest role model?
My brother, my older brother.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Your biggest role model, and when did you start going to classes?
Last month, like a month or two ago.
Something like that.
Who took you to...
Uncle Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
Just picked me up and took me there. I didn't even know where we were going.
He's good like that, eh, Uncle Jesse?
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Just to touch on, so we've gone through all the whys with te whare hine naro. So, ki te heke te hinu, does it work? Or are we there for just discipline? And
it works, definitely works. We've had, so in 1 week, let's take this for example. I had a fighter who was matched up for 58 kilos for the fight day. And then, so he was 58 kilo, but then 1 week before the fight, the weight got cut down to 52.
Well,
So we had to cut his weight in that 1 week to 53-ish kilo, and we did it in the 1 week. So yes, we can cut the weight off very fast. But it's depending on how disciplined you are outside of the work and what you eat and stuff.
58? I can squat that easy.
So what was he kicking like every 1 second?
He was putting in a lot of mahi, I'll tell you that.
course.
Wow. Well, is it easy to be in the ring? Like, what's the training processes for that?
It's very difficult. Actually, it's more mental than it is physical. Obviously, for everything you have to be physically fit, any sport, but
Yeah.
the mental side of it is the hardest because you're going to fight someone. Ne? That's that thing you always run away from when you're a child. You don't want to fight, you're scared, you know. And that's we bring the same fear into the ring, even as adults. You're going to get your mahunga punched in, pretty much, and it's very hard to overcome that. That's the hardest part about fighting, is the mental aspect.
So how do you teach, like, for instance, if Makai, she got hit with a ball and she just went, rah, you know, and so how do you teach that to go, it's okay, fight back, not just go real hard out and get angry, because there's an anger temperament and then there's that toe temperament where you can go, okay, he just knocked me out, let's sort this out, you know. So how do you teach that?
Honestly, it's a process. It's a long process. It takes a long time, and it's just honestly repetitive training of just getting in there and doing it pretty much, because there's nothing that sort of compares to it, and I can't really explain how we do it. You just get used to it over time. And with the anger thing, it's honestly about how much you're willing to listen. Hey, because I've had a few fighters that have been in the ring that just lose control. They get angry, especially the younger ones. The tamariki that I just had.
Yeah.
All three of them, two of them out of the three got angry straight away, and the discipline almost went out the window. And it's the discipline, not listening, not being toe in te mura o te ahi. And that's very important, I think, in any aspect of life. I hope that answers your question.
No, it does.
Yeah, it does.
How do you feel about that, my boy? Are you able to balance?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Wow. Cool. So if someone wants to hit you, how would you react?
I just look at him and laugh.
I love that.
That's
Well done,
normally
my
the go-to for our Māori boys, eh?
Yeah.
Some of our Māori boys.
Yeah.
Or I'll just give him a punch in the mouth. Depends.
Pins.
Yeah.
Because we did that with netball, eh? I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'm terrible.
Yeah,
but
netball.
but I've always heard of it as a don't let them. There's that kupu for it, but you just smile.
Yeah,
Hey, just smile and keep going, even though they're gonna
Yeah.
throw their ass around and chuck it in there.
Give you a maunga taranaki on your forehead.
Give you a maunga taranaki on your forehead. We're not gonna go full force.
So what's the next big thing for the club?
Well, it'll be the next event. It's coming up April 15th in the Mount. We have about 10 fighters on their card, so it'll be the biggest one that I've ever taken. And hopefully I get some support on that one in the corner, because 10 people is a lot to have on a card. So preparing them for that is going to be a massive task.
So what does the support look like?
So we have another coach who does train with us. So having him there would be a huge support.
Yeah.
Transport would be a huge support. Wera momo mea ne, getting the funds to sort of cover it all that'll be a huge support. That'll be a big weight off the shoulders ne.
And 10 of them are all in your class?
Yep.
Wow. How many of them are rangatahi?
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Massive.
Beautiful.
That's massive. And we're also looking for a space. Oh, bro, I did not like going in there yesterday.
Where's the space?
That green thing down the end.
The old $2 shop.
But
yes.
Oh, it's yuck. I walked in there and I was like, oh, no, this is yuck.
But you know what? It's a space.
It's a space, but we need another space because there was just too many. There's too many of them.
Yeah, and that was not all of us. Usually that mat is full when you came in, but the back part is always full as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. And
Yeah.
that just to manoeuvre around and move, like I've been with you, bro, with my kids at his whare, and the movements that he showed us, there's just no room for them
Yep.
to move
You need
the
to.
way that he wants them
Absolutely.
to. Yeah, so yes, te whānau, we're needing a space for our brother here, me tana karapu, me o mātou rangatahi hoki, so funding, Tairongo. So come at him, we
Or
need
if
it.
you're a cool marae that wants to give up your whore.
Maro mahui.
We used to train there back in the days, actually.
You mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. That is cool.
That's cool. So if there was anything that you could motivate people to come and join up, what would be your kōrero to them?
Haere mai. We're building a community of its own, and I think we're doing it the right way. A lot of people would say we should bury our taiaha, but I think we should pick it up. It's time to take a stand for our community. We got to take it back the right way. There's a lot of energy out there, and we know our town. People over here like to fight and stuff. Well, bring it and turn it into something. You could make something out of yourself.
Absolutely.
Look at Jesse King. Look at Dylan McPhee. Look at our boys who are doing big things over in Whakatane. Look at Macca Jean, who trains up in Auckland. She's running the show. Look at Michael Isaac. He's the world champion. He's from here too. So we got a lot of talent in this town, and all we're trying to do is harvest it and send you on your way. Let this be a gateway for you fellas to come in and see if you do have it, you know.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Absolutely. And if you had something for the rangatahi, my boy, what would it be for them to come and join? How would you motivate them to say, no mai hara mai?
If you don't want to come, then don't come. If you do, then come on. Upon our boat. That's us.
It's us.
That's us. So we've got, what's our fighting ones? You, boxing, jiu-jitsu. We don't have taekwondo anymore, eh?
No.
We don't have taekwondo anymore. However, again, it all comes down to space e te whānau. But he tino mihi tēnei, kia kōrua tahi. Mo o kōrero, e pāna ki tō kaupapa, e pāna ki te hauora, te whare tapa whānau hoki. Me o kaha ki te whakatutuki nā wawata o wenei, o mātou rangatahi. Yeah, I'm just happy that they have somewhere to go and it's a positive space. And they'll be able to send that off to everybody else in their kāreti to say, I've got a bro and he's going to help us. Yeah, so that's us. So I love that. So thank you for that.
No,
Thank you, my boy.
All good.
Okay?
Yeah, and on that note, we're going to look at Zane and we're going to do a pukana. Okay, your best marae nui, marumahu pukana you've ever done in your life.
We're not going to bury it. We're going to pick it up.
I've been out of action since 2014, guys. Come on.
Look, so we'll look at Zane. Tahi, rua, toru, wha, pukana.
Oh, no. You should have got me to do a fight pose.